Well, one outfit that would say that wouldn't be perceived as winning at the moment is Senate Public Relations, or the Senate Consultancy, which has been operating for 20 years or so in Wellington, practicing the dark arts, let's put it nicely, the dark arts of political lobbying and activism and taking clients and getting them in front of government, or taking government plans and getting them in front of the public, and greasing the wheels of power. But after 20 years or so, Senate announced yesterday it is closing down. Its 12 staff in New Zealand will be out of work, and it's keeping its Australian operations open. Much discussion, gnashing and pushing of hors d'oeuvres and cast wine around Wellington to talk about this. And I thought, to try and get a handle on it, we talked to a guy who used to work there and who talks often to the platform. He's from Blackland PR. His name's Mark Blackham. He joins us on the line now. Mark, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Sean.
All right. Now, when were you with Senate? Way back.
Yeah, I was one of the co-founders. So I started the company, Tracy Bridges and Neil Green, in 2003.
All right. Which actually doesn't make it that old a company in terms of New Zealand. 20 years is like half a career or something to me anyway.
Yeah, it feels like half a career to me.
Okay, but it was at its time, it was the new thing, and it was going to apply, I think the feeling was, some Australian disciplines and professionalism to the gentle art of public relations. Would that have been fair?
Not the Australian bit, no. This was our idea. We wanted to be like the business consultancies, like lawyers. Communications had been PR had been the core cousin. We felt it deserved to have a at the top table and advising the senior teams, and that's what we set about doing. That was our idea: was be serious, act serious, and do serious things. We did it.
Well, but basically, your serious things in PR, Mark, are selling someone's idea and cajoling people into saying yes to stuff, isn't it?
It's a lot more complicated than that. And you know what you've just, it isn't. The things you've just said then are kind of the stuff of life, right? Like what we do, and what we did then is exhilarating. We're at the edge of creating. Yes, we are creating ideas, but these are ideas that have to happen. These are good things that change society.
Well, they're things that your clients want to happen, and they pay you the money. Yes, come on. Come on, it's not like the bloody priesthood.
What are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that these things didn't deserve to happen, or these people didn't deserve?
I'm just suggesting you got paid to make them happen. Public relations people get paid to make things happen or not make happen. That doesn't make things that happen or don't happen good or bad.
No, not in itself, but it doesn't mean the opposite either. It doesn't mean the fact we're paid to do it.
No, I would agree. I would agree. Yeah.
So that's what we got up to. Yes, we're paid to do those things. We're in a profession. We're in a job. We want to make some money. I've got kids to raise.
Yeah. It's not a profession, Mark. It's not a profession. You don't need a particular tertiary qualification to be a public relations person.
Right. Well, I do regard it as a profession in the attitudes that I and my colleagues at the time took to it, which was a discipline. And in fact,
what's a discipline? It's a vocation. It's a trade.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind if it was, really.
All right.
Okay, I'm happy for it to be a trade.
What went wrong with Senate, or is it just something that happens to businesses? They grow, they go all right, and then people have left, dynamics change. Is what's happened to Senate, which I think surprised a few people, is it indicative of a wider problem in the public relations industry or profession, or is this just a natural business cycle and nothing for anyone to get too worried about?
Yeah, all the above. It's part of the cycle of life and business, which is things change. Most businesses don't last all that long. 20 years is not too bad. And about the economic times, people aren't spending as much. People are being a bit more conservative. I think those two things, really. I mean, there's still plenty of things to do and work to be done, and money about if you're doing the right thing. I think for them in particular, government work is more scarce in Wellington.
Were they or had they become slightly more aligned? And I know the people involved, and I know they're not highly tribally politicised and never have been.
No.
But were they perceptively aligned with the last administration rather than the new one? And does that cause, even if it's only a perception, problems?
I'm not sure if it is a perception. If it is, it's wrong, obviously. But no, I don't think so. I think they've just been caught, like much of PR, in this government cutting back spending by government departments. If anything, it's about working for government departments, which is something I've not really ever done.
And boy, the public service across the board, huge cuts. And I guess your outside consultants, your contractors, they're the first to go. If people inside a department are fighting for their own survival, it's the outsiders who get cast aside from the life raft first.
Yes, we get called in first when there's actual real work to be done, and we get kicked out when people are looking after our budgets. But people inside, PR people inside government departments are also losing their jobs and having salaries cut at the moment, which, in my view, is only right.